Hello. And welcome to this stream, to this launch of SACHIKO Production, a rebranding of this channel. This has been a long time coming since the beginning of this channel that I want to properly decorate and project what I want to show in terms of like streaming channels. But my mama was a little bit under the weather and a bit lazy perhaps, so right at the moment of the end of the year, I finally get to launch and present about how the channel came to be and how I will be planning to do this channel justice. This is Sachiko Rena, your presenter today. And this is the introduction about how the channel came to be and what my rationale is, and a little bit of future plans ahead of this year and regarding the next years. Right. This is kind of like first time I tried to how should I put it? Put these feelings that I want to put myself up in the world in a form of like paragraph and sentences, so it might be a little awkward, but rest assured this is my genuine feelings and my word that is sprouted from my heart. So it will be appreciated if you listen to it a little bit closely. Without further ado, I will start from the first slide. Okay. I believe in people who get to have fun themselves when watching other people being happy by doing their favorite things, whatever the things might be. Reading a book, playing games, listening to music. I felt this way because I used to feel very monochromatic towards everything I get to face in my life. No matter it being amazing emotions or gratefulness I should be feeling, or sad and miserable, that this misery feeling of like dread, maybe so mundane, maybe exciting things, all alike, it was felt very flat. But then this flat line of boring life that I thought no ripple would be made no matter what I will do, suddenly exciting emotions that arrived like a wave, sad and panic when I realized I spilled a glass full of water. So I was really panicking that I made a really grave mistake. Or a wave of really fuzzy and fluffy emotions that comes in gently and brightly when I get to pet stray cats that was not around me. Those feelings I brushed it off like fleeting things before now have been coloring me in such spectrums of various colors. That's where I sometimes started to feel like I'm changing and starting to check myself in the mirror. Sometimes with huge grins in my face, sometimes a little bit of redness in my eyes. Even if I'm not happy or sad at the moment, I can still feel happiness, and it's okay to be drenched in sadness sometimes. Those emotions will come from people who are putting out themselves to show their love and passion towards something they really like. That is why I decided in the past that someday I want to do the same, showing what I discovered in my life, a newfound joy, a hopeful excitement, or even a polished sadness. Regardless of what it be, it is how this production, not yet a company, came to born. The name Sachiko in SACHIKO Production, abbreviated SACHIPRO, is a Japanese name that parents give to their children, wishing their happiness in life. Sachi means happiness, hope, blissfulness, and ko is child, and is bestowed to a child that their parents want them to be happy. This is a child's name and commonly given to like a well wish to people, and that's because it is not a media production company or video production or a media office. This is a production channel that produces you, whoever in the wild that happened to tumble into our stream, and we will make you into a happy child. Yes, you are the Sachiko, and we will make so by doing what we like and what we love. I, as a streamer, is not the most expressive person or have a best voice to listen to in the background or in the foreground. But when I get to the things that I really like or things that makes me excited, I want to share that same feeling with you wholeheartedly, of course. With the shared feeling, I hope we can develop a mutual adorations toward each other to produce more happy emotion together that will make us Sachiko. That is a brief introduction about how I felt about this channel and this brandings. And now I'm done with the introductions, I'd like to introduce our 3 founding members. Okay. First is me, yay! I am the streamer, the voice of SACHIPRO, user stream partner, and I will be voicing most of the needs and most of the materials that have to be announced in the present, in the futures. Actually there is, I showed the kanji for Sachiko, right? But I actually gave a little bit of thinking to make a Japanese wordplay about my names. So as you see on the screen, my name is not totally in the 2 letters that I showed before, that this means Sachiko, but it's 3 letters. It is read as Ko, Raku, Ki, Rena. Now if you are smart enough, you have guessed this self, but there is actually a double meaning I'd like to convey. First is that those 3 letters is meaning small and fun and joy. And when the fun and joy gets crossed, it is happiness. And when it's small, it is means small joy and small happiness, which can mean a Sachiko, a happy child, a little bowl of happiness. That is why I'd like to read this as a Sachiko. But there's a little bit of twist. As you can see, it is onyomi is Rakuki, and when it's put together like that, it is read as Lucky. Well, that is might be a familiar name, but that is my mother, Mama, who designed all of this stuff and gave a visual to this voice. So that is a little bit of twist on that word. So koraki, that means small raki. It is fitting because I am indeed a child. So it is written as koraki but read as a Sachiko, and that is how my name is came to be, Sachiko Rena. I knew it is kind of stretch and a little bit of long shot, but as long as I'm having some fun and it is kind of like meaningful in its own way, I think it is nice to just break a rule just a little and have some funky names. So anyways, what I like is mostly action RPGs that you could play with controller, that you play with like a top-down perspective or like more in a over-the-shoulder perspective. And I like trying out new games. a new game that is demoed, a new game that is like really popular at the moment, a new games that was collecting dust in my collection in my Steam profile, for examples. So yeah, I really like action RPGs, and I like to try out new games, and also I like drinking. Yes, I'm a legal age of drinking, so I can drink. As you can browse my channels, and there's a lot of drinking streams I have done before. And having a rant, I like to speak about things that what's bothering me, or I get to know about myself, or I get to discover about some funny facts, or really something I really haven't thought about it, but it suddenly came to mind. I like to ramble about those things when I drink, and I'd like to hold like a more sober, more sane, lucid tattoo someday. So be expecting that. And I like to travel for gourmet food. I like eating. I like to eat a really nice food and enjoy how that food is came to be, and how that food is made, and how the food is tasted in my mouth. So I'd like to travel for myself, that I go visit some really gourmet restaurant or really niche joint that serves a good food. Mm. And lastly, my interest is music hunting. I was really more like a CD collector back in the day. Well, I am right now, but as of right now, I'm planning to move on to the other location in near future. So I cannot really go into a used CD store and discovering new cities. So it is solely kinda happening on the digital side, on the YouTube and Bandcamp and all those sites. But I'd like to hunt for like a new sounds, a new music that inspires me about whatever it will be. Okay, one thing you have to know, that you have to be a kind of cautious about me, is that I'm really, really scared of spoilers. Spoilers. Okay, this is hard word to say. Many of the action RPGs and the RPGs I play, it is a game that have a really nice story, story-oriented RPG games, JRPGs, or an action RPG that have a lot of like lore implications, like Elden Ring, for example, that I streamed a lot in this channel. So I'm really sensitive and really scared to spoiled, because I really appreciate the feeling about discovering something that by yourself. So even if it is not intentional or meaningful in terms of stories, I'm really not scared of getting spoiled. Okay, that is the end of what I like, and you have to be cautious around me. Okay, this is the face you will see most of the times. I will be playing games, I will be drinking, having a rant, or maybe studying a new exciting things together. Maybe we can hold a more like casual studying stream about English and maybe other languages. 日本語の勉強中になってなから、日本語の勉強のストリームかの配信も面白いと思います。Okay, next is Rocky, designer, the visual director of SACHIPRO. She is a sole director and sole designers that made possible to create all of the visual things that you see on the screen, and other things I will showcase on the later part of this stream. She is a designer origin, not a visual designer, but she is really familiar with using tools to make something, intangible ideas, into visual things you can not touch but feel and experience. She like competitive FPS. namely Apex Legend, and back in the day playing Rainbow Six Siege and some Valorant too. And she is kind of interested in Marvel Rivals right now, but she is kind of allergic to TPS, the third person shooter. So yeah, and she plays Gachage. She's the sensei of the chalet of the Blue Archive. And she liked to learn about new design tricks and tools. Recently, she is on the streak on making assets and making graphic designs with Adobe After Effects, doing motion graphics and creating effects and more like animated videos rather than aesthetic images. So running new design tricks and tools are really a nice joy to her. And she said she'd like to learn a live 2D cubism. Live 2D is something that is people associate with a virtual persona that you usually see on this platform, right? So one day, it will be really nice to have some more like a moving body that is also like draw and rigged by her. So maybe we can arrange her to have some L2D rigging stream or learning by doing the kind of things. Yep. And making musics. All of the tracks that you will hear on the openings, on the BGMs, endings, and be right back screens are all composed by her. She can play a little bit of instrument and have some rhythmic sense that make a little bit of sounds that is kind of fitted in the background. But she'd like to move on to making melodies and maybe producing with like Vocaloid and stuff. So, yep. One thing you have to be cautious about Mother is that she's kind of afraid to be criticized. It is natural things to be afraid of when you're creating something and putting out the things that you think that is amazing to the world. But people will think there is something you can criticize and have some grit about it. No matter what it would be, it will have some kind of frictions that cannot be resolved in another potential vocal P. Yeah, lucky P. Lucky P kind of sounds cute. Anyways, so amount of relation to the amount of work she put out in the world, that she's kind of like a little bit of eggshell, that she is really afraid to be criticized, because when you do things professionally with money involved, it is really just she want to be really criticized about the work, because the criticism and the constructive feedbacks is essential to making a graphic that is kind of like conclusions between two interests. But if you cannot make the consensus between two interests, it is useless. But this is kind of like a passion project that she like to put out in the wild, that is like showing a bare heart of oneself. So she's a little bit of like a coward in terms of getting criticized. So be easy on her, right? Okay, she will be sometimes up here when she want to grind Apex or show some working in progress things for production, something on the background like making music, making all like visual things, making trying out new things to show on the channels and more over the production side. Okay, next member, it's Soneka, resident otaku and manager of the productions. The name Soneka is mean It's came from a Portuguese means soneca, that is catnap, napping, a little bit of like sleep you do on the afternoon. She like to draw, she like to cry, she like to ship to people, AXB, BXA, AXC, those shipping business, and falling in delusions, and watching concerts, namely idol concerts, virtual idol concerts. She have her otaku genes really embedded from her school days, where she started to enjoy idols. And a lot of the cultural aspect of idols that put there in their work in terms of like music. There's like metal idols, there is manera idols, there is a really like bright and cutesy idols, there is a really serious idols, there is a really like uniform and how should I say it, really well structured idols. And how those stages and those musics and those choreographies and really lyrics and like world building of all the stuff come together really like fuels her otaku brain and otaku how should I say it, potency. So okay, she really like to draw that kind of delusions into a fan art. But as much as she loved to create fan art, she's a little bit afraid of and cautious about to socialize, because she really loves what she really loves, idol stuff, maybe VTuber stuff, maybe something like artist stuff that have really strong emotional attachments to them, that she's really a little bit hesitant to socialize with other people and open about how and why she likes them. It is very personal to her, so please be careful when you make comments about what you like. It is kinda like not decided right now, but she may appear when her otaku delusions cannot be contained and must be expressed through drawings. Okay. General stream schedule of the SACHIPRO is very simple. That I don't think I, as a content creator, can be really diligent since I was studying and I don't really want to, how should I say it, burden myself into doing really like daily streams or like a stream in any other days. But I really want to make a promise that I really can fulfill in no matter what will happen. So I wanted to guarantee that one stream per week, Wednesday midnight in JST, and others will be I was coughing. Others will be our guerrilla streams, continuation of the contents they have put before, and those will be announced in Twitter, not hashtag, at SACHIKO_Rena. Okay, so about near future plans. Let's see. I'd like to hold a drinking stream right after this one for reminiscing holidays, because Christmas was like the last week and it is running into a New Year's mood. So I'd like to hold a drinking stream right after this one, maybe 1:30 in AM in JST for reminiscing the holidays and think about maybe like next year's resolutions, plans. Okay, so right now, the horizon for the other members. Okay, my mama dared to finish reading final volume of bluesky before this year, so that will happen before this year. Before the clock hits the 00 by the 31st, she will have to be finishing the final volume, the volume F of the bluesky, and so that have to be happen. Rena promised to finish Route E in the replicon for in the memory of Kindness VA voice actor. And we recently found Persona 5 and the Steam was on the winter sales. So that is a Persona is a game I really wanted to try for a long time. That I really don't know about this gameplay, but the art style and the music and how the story goes, I kinda get a glimpse of it whilst I was watching other streams. So that will be on the horizon. And before the second split of the Apex Legends finishes of the season, this is season 24, right? So Rocky might want to grind solo queue Apex Steel Diamonds, which she couldn't reach before. Okay, to end this thing and this presentation and add some end notes, I think I like to show you some assets and the other scenes that we created in the SACHIPro by my mama, and that I will be utilize to do a various kind of streams. The first one would be a chatting stream. Unfortunately, there is no the chat box right here that is visualized, but it is like coming to the scene that I want to like incorporate some of the like visual YouTube elements and more like references that might be adding into the future in this scene. So that will be coming soon, TM. So this will be my Jatsudan stream. For like talking about plans, talking about what I have in my mind. And the BGMs right now is a little bit tense in my taste, but this is the most fitting for the Justin stream. But yeah. So next will be nice memory. Okay. The chat box, I really want to like visualize it and put in the screen because how should I put it? I am aware of the chats and the chat is popping up in the YouTube widgets, but it is not nearly as responsible and kind of representative in terms of like other things. So I'd like to make those incorporated into scenes very fast. Next will be the hand games. This will be using when I'm doing mostly I think drinking streams, and maybe if I want to do some things with my hands later on, I'd like to use this one. You will be seeing really soon that how this will be working in the drinking stream I mentioned really early, so be aware of that. I don't think this is kind of like a litter and like it is out there in terms of like things, so yeah, looking forward to it. Yeah, and this is the drawing screens. I really wanted to have a screen tablet, but alas, Cintiq is really expensive, and other alternatives are really expensive too. So at least in the virtual world, I like to have some screen tablets. So this is what I will be and other members will be utilizing to draw something. It could be me, it could be Raki, it could be Suneka, that we want to create something that is illustrative. We will be using this one. And there is this one. This one is actually kind of created for sole purpose of doing this stream, but Rocky Mama kind of put some a little bit more effort to putting this together, so it might be utilized to maybe show some, like, I don't know, something that could be presented in this kind of screen. Maybe we can read a story. Maybe we can read about something that we could study together. So this is on the things too. In the next minute, I'll be showing the Be Right Back screen, and it's have a lot of variations that will make your eye kind of like wanting more and more. So this is a Be Right Back screen. That the one I used in the before is actually like 3 image slides going by like 1 second, like BRB dot dot dot. So I think what Rakima made for this one is kind of a step up. So enjoy this a little bit of breaker for a little bit. Say no. That's pretty cool. Fancy. Thank you, thank you. She was running on like a long sleep because she could have just make like a simple like BRB screen, but she really wanted to incorporate more like a motion graphics that she learned from the After Effects. So she was not sleeping and not eating, just doing this stuff like 8 hours straight. So it is like a failure as a streamer when you use the BRB screen too much, but whilst it lasts, I think whilst I take a toilet break, while I'm getting a drink, whilst I'm getting like food, you get to enjoy those little bit of nice graphics. Okay, for the real end notes. For the general hopes for the stream, first off, I'd like to come up with a nice sentence to say goodbyes. Well, it is kind of like idle things to have, like 아이사츠, like for the greetings and the goodbyes. But for the streamers, I think it is really beneficial to come up with those goodbye like sentences, maybe a one-up like catchphrases. It is kind of known that I'm aware that for me it is very hard to finish what I'm doing. To finish and like indicating and hinting and signifying that I am finishing this work. So maybe reciting a little bit prepared goodbyes can sort of create a nice segue into endings for the futures. So it is, I am like nowhere near Japanese, so I just cannot like do Trena and Otsu. It is kind of like cheesy. I don't know. It is. There are some sort of names that kind of stick those sentences really well, but I'd like to come up with like nice farewells. There's some other like fancy English VTubers use in their endings. So yeah, this is like a negai. What's the negai in English? A little bit of wish and plan I'd like to come up with in the near future, maybe a stream or two. And maybe for a future, this is like a long term thing to consider. And if the message get across, it will work well enough. Yep. I'd like to come up with a like really nice sentence that I can say it and that put me in the mood for like ending the stream, and I can just end the stream right there to create a more like tangent and ramblings about the various things that pops up in my mind. Okay, for the future plans, one future wish I have is someday that I want to hold a singing stream. I'm having a hard time speaking for like a long time after vocal cord surgery, and singing is still a no-go since essentially I'm learning how to speak as of right now. And for like more 3 and 6 months, I think I have to be careful about how I use my vocal cord in terms of in speaking too. So if I want to suddenly learn how to sing, that it will be really hard for my throat, and I can't just miraculously get into singing because even before the surgeries, I haven't been singing before. I think I've been to karaoke like total of 3 times in my life, 4 times. I don't know. Anyways, but singing the songs that I really like is that I feel a sort of appreciation no matter how I butcher the song. So if the song is created to meant to be sang and meant to be listened. So if I sing a song and that is listened to the other people's, I think it is showing my maximum appreciation of the songs that I will like. And by doing so, you will be happy that learning new songs and happy that I'm appreciating those songs I like. So if the hospital gives me okay and I feel just a tad bit more confident singing and I have a place for myself, so it will be a long-term plan. But someday I'd like to make a broadcast. The consist of the songs I really like to listen, and I want to develop like a songs I really like to sing. I don't know the feelings of singing, and some people says like singing can blow out your stress and like spend your pent up energies and stuff. But I haven't felt that way because speaking itself was a stressful experience enough for me. So I'd like to develop that new found joy in the futures. Right. I think that is all for the end notes I'd like to say for the last slide of this stream. And that's it for this sort of grandeur channel reopening and rebranding, revamping. And I hope I conveyed what I wanted to say, and I hope to see you in the future too. And see you in the drinking stream very, very soon. I think maybe 20 minutes from now on. And I have to grab a bottle, I have to prepare the glass. I'd like to eat some fruits with my a spoiler alert, drinking a sparkling sake. So see you in the drinking stream soon. And it was Sachiko, your presenter for this launching presentation and stream. So I hope to see you soon in the futures. And cue endings right now. Say no.